Hi there, it's Kimberly here with Knit for Brains, and today we're going to talk all about crochet hooks, everything that you ever wanted to know, and maybe some things that you didn't really know you needed to know about crochet hooks. So stay tuned. Hey there, so my name is Kimberly, and this is my channel, Kimberly with Knit for Brains. But today we're going to talk just about crochet hooks. Now I know that there's probably a lot of you out there that are like, I've been crocheting for years. I know everything there is to know about crochet hooks. That's fine, quite possibly. But maybe you just stumbled on my channel and you don't know where to begin, and it's a little bit of an unknown. There's so many things to learn and choose. So hopefully today I'm going to be able to help you kind of sift through all the muddle and figure out what's a crochet hook, what does it do, and what kind do you need to get started. So if you're new to crocheting, you might wonder why there are so many different kinds of crochet hooks. Well, the answer is not that simple, because one size doesn't fit all. One type of crochet hook doesn't fit all. So each crocheter, not only does the hook depend on what you're going to be doing, what kind of hook, but you got to look at the size of the hook and what fits better for you, what works for you, right? So let's talk about, first of all, the anatomy of the crochet hook. So let's look at a crochet hook. The first thing we're going to be looking at is the head of the hook. This is the point of the hook. This area here is where the yarn is going to be grabbing. The throat is the inner part of the hook. This area right here, this part right inside here. The shaft is this long piece. Now the shaft can be, on this instance here, it's this whole entire piece of bamboo. But in the instance here, the shaft only goes down to the grip or the handle. All right. Now, in some crochet hooks, they actually have what we call a grip, which you hold here. Some don't actually have a grip, and it just goes all the way down. And the grip is actually part of the handle. So let's review. We've got the head of the hook, the throat of the hook, the shaft, which can go all the way down, the grip, which is where your thumb should sit nice and comfortably, and also the whole handle. Now, what kind of hook you should use, well, it depends on A, personal preference, B, what it is that you're making, and C, what's really available to you, what is in your price point. So because hooks come in a variety of different shapes and sizes, but also different kinds of materials. They come in aluminum. They also come in a solid aluminum, just like this one. This one is aluminum with a plastic or a silicone grip and handle, and this one is a solid aluminum, the whole entire piece. They also come in different wood substances. Now this one here is made out of a sustainable wood. It's called bamboo. This one here is made out of a nice light wood like a birch. These are actually made out of resin, but you can also get them in a plastic hook. This one here is made out of plastic, and you can see how the shaft, the grip, and the handle are all one piece. This one here is made out of resin, so you can see it's, again, all one piece. A little bit different than plastic. Resin's going to be a little bit harder, all right? And then this one here is, again, just sort of like a conglomeration of everything. So as you see, there's lots and lots of things to choose from. So how do these different? Well, durability is important, right? So you want to make sure that your hook is going to last and it's not going to break under the tension of your yarn when you're crocheting. You want to make sure that it feels comfortable to you. How does it glide through the yarn, right? And then again, there's some eco-friendly options like your bamboo, like your resin, and then even some of your plastic. Bamboo is relatively new in the sense that it is using a sustainable product. So if this is something that is important to you, using sustainable materials, then bamboo is going to be a really good choice for you. So the importance of the quality of your hooks is going to give you really nice smooth stitches and project longevity. The importance of the quality of your hooks for creating beautiful stitches and durable products is going to depend on which hooks you start with. So if you use a higher quality hook, like the ones I'm showing you here, that's going to help you to prevent snagging with your yarn, breakage with your yarn, and a nice, easy crocheting experience. All right, now that we've kind of explained the basics, let's dive into the world of hook sizes. So hook sizes really do matter. If you're using a thicker yarn like this is a pretty standard size yarn. It's a weight of a 4. It's a thicker 4. You're not going to want to use a teeny tiny hook like this because this hook and neck will never be able to grab this yarn. It's just going to slip right through, and or it's also going to split your yarn. Now you might want to choose a hook size like this that grabs the yarn. You want to make sure that your yarn fits nice and comfortably under the neck or under the head into the neck of the hook. So this one here might be a little too small in that it might grab part of your yarn and it might split your yarn. If you don't know what size hook you're using, it can tell you right here on the shaft or the grip of the hook. So you can see here, this is a letter F, but is a 3.75 hook size up here. Now, if you don't know what that means, it's really handy to have something like this, which shows you the different hook sizes. So it's a 7, K, J. Most of them are going to be in letter sizes. So 7's a little bit wonky, but this one goes 7, and then the letter K, which is a 6.5 millimeter or a 10.5 inch hook. J, which is a 6 millimeter or a number 10. I, which is a 5.5 millimeter or a number 9 hook. So when we're talking about that, let's look at this. This one, for instance, is a G plus, which kind of falls between the G and the 7. Some people call it a 7. It's a little bit confusing. So this one here is a 4.5 millimeter hook, and it's a size G plus. So if you look here, it kind of falls in between these two, the 7 and the G. So that's a 4.5. Some people are going to call this a size 7. Some are going to call it a G plus, which is halfway between the two. If you're not sure, you can get yourself a gauge like this and see where the neck fits in. So you can see right here, this actually fits into the 4.5. It's a little too small for the 4, and it's a little too big for the 5. So this I know is a 4.5 hook, and it also tells me right here. So if you're confused, I would recommend not following the letter or the 7 as much as I would follow the millimeter. Now this here says that it's a size E or a 3.5 millimeter number 4 hook. So that's going to be this size here. And if you just want to double check, you can place it right inside this hook mark, and it says it's a 3.5. It slides easily in here. And it also, some of them will say what the letter is and some of them won't. So again, I recommend following the millimeter sizes on the hook or getting something just like this. It can tell you exactly. And this is actually a really handy tool in that it's got a yarn cutter, it's got a swatch measurement inside here, and then it also even gives you your gauge for your needles if you're going to be doing some knitting. There's a lot of popularity with skinny or thin hook sizes, which is going to be something along these lines here. Now, if you notice, this one here actually even comes with a little bit of a casing of protection. Because this is so small, it has a tendency to possibly break or bend. This size hook here, you're going to be needing for like really, really fine work, lace work, or doilies and things like that. I would recommend if you're just starting out, get a basic size hook, which is probably going to be in this 3 or 4 inch range, or number 3 to number 4 inch, somewhere in that range here. This is a pretty standard size hook. If you really do want to get into your lace or your doily, then I would recommend buying a set like this. See how tiny these hooks are. Notice how they're still inside the casing. That's because I don't use these very often. This here is a standard aluminum size hook, aluminum material hook. It's got your measurements right here on the shaft. This is where your thumb grip is going to sit. Now, the difference between this hook here and this one here is going to be the comfort of the grip of the handle. I prefer for saving my hands from fatigue, not using something like this because I tend to grasp this too tight and then it makes my hand start to ache. So if you want to save your hands and look at something that's more ergonomic, I would recommend starting out with something like this, which has a really nice handle that fits really comfortably in your hand and your thumb just sits right there. Okay, now if you're going to be doing a bigger project or a bigger yarn project, maybe some big blanket project, you're probably going to want to find a hook that's going to have a really big fat head and neck, something along these lines. This size here is a size 9mm. Now you might not be using this for a lot of projects. If you decide that you're going to want to be doing like a real fuzzy furry blanket crochet yarn, which is going to work up really fast, then you're going to want to have a really nice fat hook, something along these lines. This is a size L, and this fits really nicely, and you can see how it's going to grab that yarn, so it's not going to split it, and it's going to be able to pull it right through your loops, and it's going to make it really nice and easy. Now this is a solid plastic hook, but you can see here, my thumb grip is right there and my handle is right here. But it's all one piece. And you can see how this particular hook slips really nicely through this blanket yarn. Now, if you're going to be using a smaller yarn, like a weight of a 4, something like this, you're going to be needing a smaller hook. Notice how this hook here is too big for this yarn. What's going to happen is you're not going to get the smaller size stitches. And if you're trying to make like a sweater or an amigurumi, these stitches are going to be too big for your gauge. So you're going to want to go to a smaller hook size. If you're just starting out and you really don't know which kind of hook to use, I'm going to show you a little secret. Most balls of yarn, not every ball, but most balls of yarn, and those that are made in the United States, will tell you everything that you need to know about the yarn and the size hooks or needles you need right here on the band or the label. So if you're looking to make a blanket or a sweater, or you just want to use this really fun yarn, you're going to look here. It's going to tell you that the weight of the yarn is a weight of a 4. This is a medium, so it's a little bit thinner than this guy here, but it's way thinner than this guy here, as you can see the difference. See the difference in your yarns. So for this particular yarn here, I've got the band on here, so it's going to tell me everything I need. So as I'm looking at this band, it's telling me that this yarn is a weight of a size 4, which is pretty standard. This is a medium weight yarn. It's telling me in this box here that the best hook to use to get this gauge swatch is going to be a 5.5mm hook. Now I can look right here and see I have a 5.5mm hook. It also says here it's a US size I9. Now, to double check, we recommend doing something called making a gauge swatch. And what I would do is I would do 12 single crochets across and 15 rows, and that should give me this 4" by 4" square. And you can also use something like this and then measure it. So basically this is going to be 4 inches across and it's going to be 4 inches high. And if I follow it, that's what I'm going to get using it. And then I know that this hook and this yarn is going to give me the desired results. If you're going to be knitting, that's what this little box over here means. So that means it's recommending using a 5mm needle or a size 8 US needle, which will be listed on the knitting needle. This label over here tells you what you can do with this yarn. So this yarn in particular, I can put it in the wash and it tells you the temperature. I can put it in the dryer. You don't want to iron it and you don't want to dry clean it. And it tells you right here, machine wash, warm, gentle cycle. And then oftentimes on these labels, you'll find a pattern. So like the pattern for this blanket you'll find inside here. So the labels are always really important. If you're just starting out and you really don't know if you're going to be getting into it, and you've got the yarn you want to use, then maybe instead of buying like a full kit or a full set of needles or hooks, maybe you just want to buy the one that's necessary for this particular pattern. So let's talk about the different styles of hooks. We've got the straight hooks, we've got ergonomic hooks, and we have interchangeable sets. So the impact of the hook shape and the material is going to change your grip, or it's going to have an impact on your grip. So as I mentioned earlier, your grip can really lead to, a bad grip can lead to hand fatigue. It can lead to the consistency of your stitches or how you control your stitches and your overall crocheting experience. So like I said, this is a really standard crochet hook. It's a 6.0 millimeter, but there's no grip. So if I'm doing a lot of crocheting with this particular hook, by the end, my hand is going to get kind of cramped and tired. I like to have a really good ergonomic handle. So something like this is what we call an ergonomic handle, in that it's fatter, so it's going to fit in my hand more comfortably, and my thumb just sits nice and easy here. This is an ergonomic hook. This one here is a wood hook that is also an ergonomic hook. It fits nice and easy in my hand. As you can see, I can work with this all day long, and it's not going to give me hand fatigue or cramping. So I always recommend starting with the right tool for the right job. These hooks with the ergonomic handle and or the shaft, right, the comfort handle or the full ergonomic, isn't going to cost you that much more than just a straight shaft handle like this, but it's going to save your hands in the long run. So if you're looking at trying out some crochet hooks, I recommend starting with either a comfort grip or an ergonomic. So let's talk about these. Now this one here is made out of resin. This is from a company called Ophire, and they have a great line of crochet hooks. They have them in all different sizes. What they don't carry are these really teeny tiny hooks, and the reason being is they make all of their hooks right now out of resin. It's a nice hard molded plastic, and they put it into a mold with these little grips here. This is where your thumb is going to sit. Your numbers are right here, and these are engraved in, so they're not going to fade off. They're not going to rub off with a lot of handling. But they're made out of resin. Now, the problem with the resin is that when you get to a hook neck shaft this thin, that's going to compromise the integrity of the resin, and they're going to snap. So you're not going to see a resin hook in a really small size. This here is a 1.25 millimeter. You're not going to see, the only time you're going to see a hook size this tiny is going to be in the aluminum or a stainless steel, because it needs to have the strength of the metal to sustain the hook so it doesn't bend or break. Now sometimes you will be able to find a smaller hook in another product like the wood. Now this one comes from Ophire. This is a smaller size hook. This is a 3.75, and you can see it's a lot smaller, but it's also made out of wood. So the strength of the neck and the shaft is stronger than it is going to be in the resin. So if you're looking for like a nice wood ergonomic hook, this is also a really great choice. This comes in from Ophire, and you can see here that they have engraved or stamped in the number right here in the shaft, so it's not going to rub off either. This is going to be a great option. Now, this is from WeCrochet. This is the aluminum hook, so the head, the neck, and the shaft are all aluminum. And then this is what we call a comfort grip. It's not quite as big as the ergonomic handle, but it works really well. So it really depends at this point, what is your comfort level going to be? This one here is from our friends at Furls, and I love Furls hooks. This hook is made out of aluminum. So we can see here that the head is nice and sturdy. This is going to be the neck, the shaft, and the comfort grip. Now this is an ergonomic hook, and notice it is ergonomic because the shaft is one big easy piece and it's a lot wider. So it starts out the same up here in the aluminum, but here we've got that lip where we move into the comfort handle, and here the ergonomic is all one piece. So it's going to be what works, what's the most comfortable for you. My preference is the ergonomic hooks because there's no lip. Sometimes when you're working with a hook that has a lip like this, sometimes your yarn can get snagged or your stitches can get snagged in there. That's when the ergonomic handles that are really nice and smooth, that's when they come in handy. So if you're not sure what you want to start with, I would say try an ergonomic aluminum or an ergonomic resin. And the colors that you choose, that's really going to be your personal preference. I mean, I've got all different colors of aluminum and ergonomic resin, and this is just my personal preference. But start with something that's going to give you a lot of really good hand comfort, and you're going to be crocheting for a really long time. These are both a 4.5 millimeters. So you can see the difference. They're both G pluses. This one comes from our friends at Furls. This one comes from Ophire. This one's a lot lighter because it's resin. All right. I love the feel of this. I love the feel of both of them. I love the feel of this aluminum. It's nice and smooth in my hands. It's really easy to see the number. But this one's a little bit lighter. So it just really depends on what you're looking for. So there's a lot of different crochet hook brands for different budgets. You're going to have your Clover and your Boyd, which are more in your mainstream. So you're going to find them at your big box store, and they're going to look something along these lines here. And they might even have a grip that you can slide onto your hooks. But if you're starting out, why not get a hook that you like, that feels really good, that has either the comfort grip or the ergonomic grip, like this guy. Now these hooks here are made by a company called Prim, and I love these. This is made out of a plastic. It's not a resin, so it's not as hard as a resin, but the durability is still there. So again, we've got a nice big fat head with the neck and the shaft is molded all the way down to the comfort grip. Now this kind of is a hybrid between a comfort grip and an ergonomic grip here. So this Prim hooks are a really good option, and then you just place your thumb right here. So if you're looking for like a light ergonomic hook, this is a great one here. And you can see this is a size J. So always you're going to see the numbers and the millimeters and the letter of your hook is going to be listed somewhere on your crochet hook. If you are ready just to jump right in and you're looking to get a full set of the popular sizes, then we can take a look at that. So this here is a company called Tulip. This is a complete set. These you can find in most yarn stores, a lot of your online stores, or you can even find something like this on Amazon. Everything that you need to kind of get started is pretty much right here inside. And it's nice because it folds up easy and you can take it with you and travel. So this is actually one of my go-to travel sets here. You can see you've got a variety of sizes in here. This is what I would call a comfort grip, not necessarily an ergonomic, but it still fits really well. This is your size I9 and it goes to a 5.0. And then they just fit nice and neatly inside here. Now this set also comes with a set of scissors. These are TSA approved in that they are the proper size, but they're very sharp. So they come with this nice little protective case right here for your scissors. They fit right inside here. And then in the zippered pouch over here, it comes with a couple of the other essentials that you need. A little ruler. This is going to be your gauge ruler. So if you want to be making a gauge, this is going to tell you your 4 inches. It's also going to come with a darning needle set, which is what you need just to like sew in your ends, just like this. And it's got a few of the little odds and ends that I've just included inside here. So this guy here is going to fit in here. So this kit here retails at somewhere between $50 to $60, depending on if you can find it on sale. I'll include the link below, but this is a really nice set. This is from Tulip. They have some higher end crochet hooks, and then they have some that are a little bit on the lower. This is sort of their mid-range, and I love it because it just folds up nice and neat like this. You can put it into your suitcase, put it in your garment bag or your craft bag, and you're ready to go. If you really want to start off with your lace and your doilies and things like this, you can get a standard set of hooks just like this. Now it doesn't really come with the scissors, but it has a place you could put the scissors, and then it's got your smaller sizes over here. So this is what you're going to use for your lace or your doilies or your really, really fine intricate work like this over here. And then these are going to be your standard size hooks. This is available on Amazon as well, and this probably is going to retail somewhere in the probably $15 to $20 range. This is a Tunisian crochet hook. Now, Tunisian is a totally different animal, so I wouldn't recommend starting with something like this unless you know you're going to be starting with Tunisian. But what I wanted to show you here is this is made out of a really nice sustainable wood named bamboo. And bamboo, you can find a lot of really good crochet hooks that are very reasonable on your Amazon that are made out of the bamboo hooks. Now this crochet hook here, this comes from WeCrochet, and this you can buy in a complete set. And the set looks something like this, and they come in all the different dots. So depending on the size that you're looking for, this is a really good, easy, budget-friendly way to start. I'll include the link below if you're interested in getting this particular set right here. If you're interested in the ergonomic hooks, these come into us from Furls. Now Furls has the aluminum all-in-one with the grip. They also come in a wood, which is a nice light wood birch, just like this. And then they also come in the resin, which is similar to the Ophire hooks. And that looks just like this. So these are the materials that the Furls hooks come in. I love all of these styles. Again, it's got the comfort grip. It's the ergonomic design. This is in the aluminum. So this one here you're going to find in most of the smaller sizes as well if you want to go smaller, because the integrity of the shaft and the neck won't be compromised as you work through your stitches. They also have these nice wood, which is really, really light, also very smooth, also in that nice comfort grip. And they also have them in the resin. So again, when it comes to this, it's going to depend. It's a personal preference. How does it feel in your hand? Do you want something that feels heavy, weighted, more solid? Do you want something that's lighter, made out of a natural product like a wood? Or do you want something like this resin, which comes in a whole bunch of different colors? Or you can get something really fancy like this resin hook here from Furls, which has got the beautiful colors running through. So then it really becomes a personal preference. If you're looking at the Ophire hooks, right now they come in two materials. Either the resin, which is really lovely. Again, that comfort grip comes in, and the only hooks that they do are going to be the ergonomic hooks with the molding on the sides, not the comfort grip, a full-on ergonomic grip here. Or they also come in this really nice wood. So that really is going to be a preference. This is, they're both about the same. This one feels a little bit lighter than this one does here. And it might be a little bit shorter in the neck size, probably to maintain the integrity of the hook. Now this prim hook here is a really nice favorite. Again, this is sort of that hybrid between the comfort grip and the ergonomic, and you can find these in sets as well. I'll include the link below. You can find these on Amazon or in some of your craft stores. Well, I hope I was able to clear up some of the mystery behind what kind of crochet hook you want. Remember, you want to look at, if you're just starting out, find the yarn that you want to use, read the label that's going to tell you everything that you need to know about how to use this particular yarn, and then go and find your hook. If you feel like you're ready to jump on in, go ahead and try out the WeCrochet Comfort Grip, the Prim Hybrid Comfort Ergonomic, the Ophire hooks, either in the resin or the wood, or the Furls, which again comes in the resin, the wood, or the aluminum. The choice is yours. I hope this made a lot of sense, or it took some of the guesswork out. Thanks so much for watching. Please go ahead and like and subscribe to this video, because that'll send us up, and other people who are just starting to crochet will be able to find us as well. Thanks so much for watching. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains, and as always, I'll see you soon.